Who says you can't? You can do. Daniel Sidiak. What you think, you believe, you create. Introduction. There are powers inside of you which, if you could discover and use, would make you everything you ever dreamed or imagined you could become. Orison Swett Marden. Why do you act the way you do? Why are some people highly motivated while others can't bother to get up and find the TV remote? What makes the difference in people's lives? How do you change your approach and outlook when the world seems to be crashing down around you? How do you create your life the way you want it? What are the strategies that have worked for the most successful people in history? How do you build a trusting relationship with yourself? One that will ensure you achieve what you set out for. The burning desire to search for these questions, these answers, has become my life's passion. And the search has revealed to me an infinite source of intelligence and wisdom that waits patiently within every human. For so many individuals, that fighting spirit has dimmed over time, worn down by hardship, frustration, and disappointment. I am committed to showing people how to recapture that spirit. It's obvious then that we all have visions of what we wish our life would be, but very few of us ever get to experience that life. Why not? Could it be reluctance to search deeper? Could it because merely we not knowing how? Could it be psychological or emotional barriers that prevent our true powers from being displayed? The sad reality is that most people will go through life dreaming of another life that seems out of reach. The hope and faith in their own ability will be clouded by the stress and worry of everyday life. Proverbs 29:18. Where there is no vision, the pupil perishes. Not so long ago, I found myself in one of life's uncertain moments. I was in my room on my knees, experiencing the physical and emotional effects of a big weekend on drugs. I had no job, no sense of direction, and had lost all hope in my ability to shape my destiny. I felt worthless to myself and the world. Just like everyone else, I wanted my life to mean something, to have the ability to make a difference in people's lives, and live by a purpose that inspired my every moment, every move to fulfill my own desires, contribute to society, and wake up in the morning actually looking forward to the day. And since that point, when I felt like a failure, I have embarked on a journey to find out why some people are living an extraordinary life while others are never really fulfilled. Through this journey, I have modeled the most successful people known to me, turned to man, traveled overseas to meet with the leaders who have the strongest mind sets on the planet, interacted with exceptional achievers, coached people all the around the globe, from professional athletes to TV personalities. But most importantly, I have delved deeply into the human mind and emotion, and let me assure you, all the fulfilled individuals I have met have similar attributes. Have you ever wondered why only a few people are living their dreams and the vast majority are not? Those people who live a successful, fulfilled life think in a similar way. feel in a certain way, and act according to those patterns. Yes, they are very different in many ways, but the core nature of their existence is very similar. Surprisingly, I also discovered that they too had to learn and practice those patterns and principles. And yes, these patterns and principles are available to anyone, not just a select few. One important truth that I learned is that every experience happens for a reason, to lead us to a point where we are to make a decision, which will ultimately determine how we live out the rest of our life. Wherever you are in your life, whatever your achievements are, or whatever you have set up to conquer, you are reading this book to make that very decision, one that will give you a fulfillment that you never knew existed, one that will drive you to that level you want to reach, one that will offer that healthy lifestyle you dream about, attract that person you have searched for your whole life, or strengthen the relationship you are in, one that will guide you to achieve things you once thought impossible and master your financial state, one that will give you control of your emotions, break fears you were thought would last forever, and propel you to wake up every day with an outlook on life that guides every step you take, a decision that ensures you hit the targets you aim for. Now, as much as this book is about how to make that crucial decision, it's also to create direction in your life so that will be made, every decision will be made with the knowledge and strategies that are certain to elevate you to a level that will inspire others. It does not matter what level you currently consider yourself to be at. There is always room for growth, just like any journey. This book contains steps. The first step, self-discovery, the knowledge to empower your life forever. We do just that. Everyone I have come in contact with has shown interest in self-discovery, but has said that they would not know where to start. This step is the most crucial in forming a lasting understanding of yourself and enhancing the ability to create change in an instant. The second step, energy, that fundamental force, explains how to properly use that vast energy within your being. We all know that the more energy we direct towards something, the faster it happens. Most people expend all their energy on things that are actually destroying their life rather than enriching it. This is the ultimate guide to distinguish between the two and provide the knowledge that will raise your awareness forever. The third step, the system of achievement, is the groundwork of everything you set out to achieve. I would never include anything in this book that I did not myself practice and use with my clients, and that did not have a basis in the practices used by the greatest in history. The detailed strategy in this section will give you the arsenal to excel. It will show you in a step-by-step process how to overcome any challenge in business, help you find what you are passionate about, and create the clarity and emotional charge that is needed to succeed. The fourth step, steer your relationship, will show you how to take immediate control of your relationship situation. Is your ship is your ship sailing smoothly or rockily, or is it yet to set sail? Whether you are currently struggling in your relationship and want to let go or striving to enhance it, this is your guide. It has also been designed for those who have been looking for their dream partner but are unsure how to attract him or her. The fifth step, create a healthy physical existence, gives you the mindset and strategy to take charge of your health. We can all agree that our health is definitely one of the most important things in life. If it is not to you, then you probably need to read this section more than anyone. Without a healthy body, your life is not successful. Period. I am qualified in personal training and have used my knowledge from previous clients to show the most effective ways to attain that body you want. But more important, the sense of feeling great about yourself. There is also detailed information about how the mind affects your body in every way imaginable. The sixth step, awaken your mind, unchain your heart, supports the magnitude of being consciously awakened, self-aware, and enlightened to the world around you. This journey to your emotional state will scientifically and morally prove how we are all one in essence. It looks at how your actions affect not only your own life but the world at large. Walk with me as I go on my spiritual journey to Thailand to meet and stay with one of the most respected monks in the country. This step takes you through the vast influence we have on youth, from our children, nephew and nieces to the kid on the street. Nothing drives you more than being awakened to your role in this world. The seventh step, find fulfillment. A real success is the ultimate advantage one can have. No life is successful without fulfillment. Do not be mistaken, a great achiever is not always fulfilled. True success is fulfillment. Find out what makes us truly happy and knock down the social myth that has influenced our heart to believe that happiness is synthetic. That system has failed many throughout history, so don't allow yourself to be fooled any longer. True fulfillment does exist. That said, it would be absurd to attempt to minimize the enormity of the life-changing content in this book. I don't want any aspect of this journey to be tempted by an introduction that attempts to sum its power up in a few paragraphs. While this is a fun and interactive read, it does not sugarcoat anything. It is real, raw and direct in its approach. It has the potential to bring out the absolute greatest personal qualities you have always had within you. Be ready to be intrigued, fascinated, and amazed, not by this book, but by your own power. Man's mind, stressed by a new idea, never goes back to its old dimensions. Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. Before I turned my tide, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King Jr. Growing up as a child, I always dreamed of a better life. Others were less fortunate than me, but I had a typical want to escape the world as I knew it and what surrounded me every day. I remember thinking big from a young age, yet there always seemed to be something that prevented me from believing it would ever be my reality. As most kids do, I would watch people on TV, listen to singers, or see businessmen and wish I could achieve like that. My parents always attempted to create a happy environment for me and were always supportive, although kids see things different than their parents hope at times. My father had two sides. He could be extremely hard on one hand and yet the most loving person I know on the other. Through his hard side, he taught me a lot, through, though particularly that giving up just does not cut it. Second was never good enough, and he expected the most out of everything I committed to. It was good taught to handle at times, yet yet I now see the massive effect those teachings had on me. His never give up attitude is something that will stay cemented in me forever. As for my mother, she never had a doubt or really questioned me. My parents did not have much money when I was growing up, and that was difficult to see. They are both unconditionally loving persons, and for that I am ever indebted to them. Even so, I still did not like to stay at home or abide by their rules. It's not what you own in this world. It's what legacy you leave behind that matters. My mother. I began to find comfort in my grandfather and my auntie. When my parents moved from my grandparents' home, I decided to stay put rather than move with them. I looked up to my grandfather as a role model because of his strong connection with his family. And while he had money and external respect, most notable was his sense of fulfillment. He seemed up at peace with the world and used his strong mind to deal with all his family's issues. On a daily basis, he would go down to the local church and still serve as an altar boy. Years later, I realized that was what fulfilled him, rather than his money or esteem. One of the hardest moments of my life was when my grandfather was diagnosed with cancer. As a 12-year-old, I would kneel in the shower, crying and praying to God to cure him, without realizing it at the time. As I was trying to cure myself of the emotional pain and suffering I was about to endure. After 3 long years, my grandfather finally gave up his battle with cancer. My own battle in life was just beginning. The world around me seemed to crumble. The rock of the family was gone, and a deep sense of loss would follow me for many years to come. Living in a working class suburb of Melbourne, I thought my opportunities were limited. Anger toward the world really started to build up. I chose to run instead of facing it. I began losing all sense of direction and became a troublemaker, nearly getting kicked out of school, getting into vicious fight, and having little respect for the world were becoming my way of life. My friends at the time seemed to show me a lot of love. We would hang out in the back streets all night, just thinking how we would get our next laugh. We had no boundaries when chasing that next laugh, including authority. I was on a one-way road to self-destruction. I knew all along that what I was doing was not true reflection of me, but I was living the way I thought I had to. I guess it was for attention, acceptance, praise, recognition, selfish satisfaction, and every other feeling that leads to unhappiness. There can be no happiness if the things we believe in are different from the things we do. Freya Stark. There was a bridge near my house where I would look out and reflect. I was only about 14 at the time, but I would analyze the cars as they drove past. I was fascinated by how everyone seemed to be in their own world, driving to their own destination. Yet we are all part of the same big world. A Mercedes Benz would be followed by an old Toyota, and I would try to figure out why the tables were not turned. Why did this woman get to drive car like that and the other guys did not? Was it by chance? I would think, but we are in the same world. I did question whether the person in the Mercedes was really happier than the other guy. I was intrigued by human emotion and different ways of life, but more important by answers. How did our lives affect our feelings? At the time, it was just idle wondering, but the interest in always remained. Always felt that I was here to affect the world. Little did I know my actions were affecting the world all along. But I guess it's common for people not to realize their power, for good or bad. A few years went by and not much had changed. I met a girl who would be my girlfriend for 3 years, and I based my happiness around her presence. Things were great at the start, then just seemed to crumble, and so did most of my life. We would fight and things turned into a real disaster. I found out that she was cheating on me. Even though our relationship was on the rocks, her cheating left me feeling empty. I could not eat or sleep. Every ounce of energy revolved around reminding me of this deep pain I was experiencing. I felt as if she had not finished in my life yet, and I told myself that I needed her in order to live. We got back together, but after a while the feelings started to fade. When I got back together with her, I was buying into this lie, this lie that I needed the comfort of knowing that she still loved me. I now realized it was a selfish act. I was trying to protect myself. Making a decision to leave was the hardest one I have ever had to make and was a real test of strength. I just knew there were things I had to do in life and I needed to do them on my own. Looking back, I don't think I was ever really in love with who she was, but in love with filling my emotional gaps with her presence. After losing all contact with my ex-girlfriend, I lost contact with what I believed happiness was. Once again, I began to look for external things to complete me. I did not understand what I was doing, but more important, I was blind to the fact that complete happiness can only be attained within oneself. Off I went on another journey to outside happiness. I began to live a party lifestyle, took up smoking, drinking heavily, and experimenting with drugs. I lived for the weekends. I was doing a commerce degree at university, but I knew that was not what I wanted out of life. As I sat in a lecture one day with about 300 other students, my mind was racing. All I could think about was how I would be competing with these other people for a job that I did not even want. I knew I had two options right there: stay and live a life I had never be happy with, or take the leap of faith straight into the unknown without having a clue what I wanted to do. I stood up, picked up my books, walked out, and never looked back. My parents wanted me to finish the degree, but I just knew that I did not want to live my life by that social expectation deems appropriate. I did not have a clear vision as to what I really wanted out of life. I just knew I did not want to be where I was. I started looking for a marketing company, left that, then got a full-time sales job. I had an uncanny ability to excel in both occupations and was promoted as the youngest sales coach in the company. Even though I had only been there for 6 months, but there was only one problem: it did not fulfill me. During this time, I partnered with my brother and we began our clothing importing business. Still unsure about my true passion, I was never 100% committed. I worked at it, but it was only to try and generate money because that's where I thought happiness lay. With another one of my assumptions about life's greatness gone, I was exhausting all avenues and the truth was close to showing itself once again. This time it would have no mercy. I was close to 19 at the time, flying to Italy and reading books on negotiation. Not something the average teenager does. So I definitely have no regrets. Looking out of the plane window, I would think about where my life was headed. What is all of this? What does it all mean? What am I doing here? I would not give these questions too much energy as I thought my time needed to be better spent. I now see that belief was far from the truth. Instead of answering those questions, I would mentally reenact the scenario of me walking into the boardroom, surrounded by international businessmen, trying to get the best deal. I was nervous, anxious, but amazingly excited at the same time. I knew that I was never going to live a life that was less than what I knew I deserved. I was never willing to settle or accept that I could not be my own boss or live that dream life. By the age of 21, I had been to Europe 5 times for the business. I always put on a happy face when I told people about it, which gave me some satisfaction. I thought I had found happiness by showing off this great lifestyle I pretended to be living. Every time someone asked me how I was, I would say loving life. What these people didn't know is why that stage I was addicted to drugs, could not make a relationship work. I was broke, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually spent, and I had no sense of direction. I would hang out all night, smoking dope, just to try and crowd the confusion of my inner self. It's like putting 1,000 band-aids over a fresh bound. It does not matter how many you put on top. The bound is still there, as fresh as always. Who knew all along? I did. I was lying to myself, but I had the ability to know my own truth, a gift we all have. I knew I was lost and would call out to God. I did not even really feel or understand to light up the path for me and show me the right direction. Did I ever doubt God's presence? Of course I did, especially at the times when I was so low. But who was I to turn to? I had already invested all of my energy into things that I thought would make me happy. People began to come into my life and I would hear them talk about real happiness. I guess they were always there. My mind just chose to take some notice of them now. I repeat, I would hear them. If I were really interested, I would have listened, but I did not. I could not imagine such fulfillment. So I would reject them just as quickly. I would argue and come up with so many different excuses and get frustrated as they would throw me lies back at me with the question, well, are you really happy? But funnily enough, I would say yes. Every time I said it, I knew I was lying. I was scared to venture out of my fear, as weird as that sound. I felt my truth arising more, that deep voice inside, but did not act upon it because I guess I did not have the faith that could change my life, even though I always knew I was a good person deep down. I would keep doing things that said otherwise, and it would confuse me even more. Things were arising that would make me question everything I was doing. The hardest part was questioning those actions I had previously taken subconsciously. One particular night I hit that I thought was my lowest point. After another big weekend on a cocktail of drug, I had not slept for 48 hours. I was mentally and physically exhausted. This was no ordinary calm down. No words can ever describe the feeling of emptiness. I thought this is it. I was at the end of hope. I was wishing the ground would just open up and swallow me. Standing in my bedroom, numb to everything around me, and having thoughts that it would be easier if I were dead. I felt as if there was nowhere to turn. A deep sadness and fear came over me, like a child locked in a dark room, but 1,000 times worse. I broke down, got on my knees, and screamed out to God, saying, where the hell are you now? I was so low that I felt I had to reach up to touch the bottom. Choked up and tears blurring my sight, I stood up, only to be facing myself in a mirror. Through the tears, my reflection looked deformed until I wiped them away. My face became clearer, and the most overwhelming feeling came over me, an experience so awakening and enlightening that it would change my life forever. I stood there staring at myself for 20 minutes. I finally realized the person I was wanted to be my whole life was looking straight back at me. And so our journey begins. Your personal contract. Your personal contract. Really. I, Daz, declare that I must master my life in every area. I will no longer settle for a life that is less than what I know I deserve. I have had enough experience to know one side of life, and now it's my time to shine. I will commit myself to enrich the quality of my life from what it is now. I will persist under my circumstances to act upon the task in this book, which are going to empower me forever. I will not leave my task undone. I will relentlessly work to empower my life and push beyond my known limits. I am responsible for shaping my destiny, and I trust my ability to see this book through. I understand that the only way to real success is by having a great state of mind, and I am willing to work vigorously to create and enhance it. I am ready to live my life in the never ending cycle of self growth and use the unlimited power within my being. I am ready to attain a burning desire, compelling visions, and a passion for life that rises above all. As signed, date. Thank you very much for listening. This is the end of introduction of the book Who Says You Can't, You Do. Daniel Sidiak. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.